Wagwan people, wagwan to the future millionaires. Thank you for joining this week's video. My name is Demetress Fairman, and it is so good to see all the lovely faces out there in YouTube land. So last week we spoke to realtor Marc Chin about purchasing real estate, but now we have part 2 of the video, and this week we want to speak about investments in real estate. How can I actually invest? Meaning, how I can buy a rental property, a Airbnb, just a rental property that cash flows. So this week's video will be talking about that. And I hope everybody is doing good because we had a storm, it's a lot of rain, and now the place is wet, and I don't want anybody to get sick. So please stay safe, strengthen up the immune system, and just get some exercise and eat well, alright? So, cut the long chatting, let's jump into the video. 3, 2, 1,
I'll go to the investment section now of this video because you know, say a lot of people want to get into this space. Like real estate is one of the they call it now the goal posts for people who invest. And I've been researching a lot because that's something really interesting. So researching on flipping, house hacking, they call it the BRRRR, like you buy, rent, refinance, all that, but all that jazz. So, but we're not really dive into the different ways you can do it. We just want to use scenarios because people love learn by scenarios.
Yeah, to touch on it. All right. So first of all, a lot of the things that you just mentioned a while ago doesn't really work in Jamaica, right?
All right, burst the bubble right there.
The Jamaican real estate market doesn't work that way. We are a little different from the US market. In the US now, you can do all of them things there, and it works.
Okay.
Easy. In Jamaica, it's a little bit different. For example, I have a property, a Kingston 7 property. So if you guys follow me on Instagram at the realtor Marc Chin, I have a property in Kingston 7 that is advertised on my Instagram page. What it is, it was originally a single family home, right? The owner had turned it into 7 self-contained units. So it's 6 one-bedrooms and a studio, right? Everybody has their own lights. Everybody has their own. It's self-contained, so it's pretty much like an apartment, right?
Yeah.
The only communal spaces is like the outside, the parking area, the drying yard. Everybody even have their own wash area behind their units.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It is listed for $23.5 million. I advertised it as an investment property. Reason being, it's so close to the university, and persons who just starting out into the work world would be able to afford the rent there.
Exactly.
So, follow me now. If you need, I'll go slow, and if you need to grab your pen and your paper, you can grab your pen and your paper. The property is being listed at $23.5 million, right?
Yeah.
So what we're doing right now is working out the return on investment. That's the ROI. The ROI on this property is about 9.75. Anything over 7% in terms of return on your investment is good.
Yeah, man.
Right?
The average stock market about 8% per year. If you get 9, your goal
9.75, almost 10. 9.
Almost 10.
Yeah. Right. All right. I average it out at, there are 7 units. I average it out at the rental for about $30,000 per month. Right. So 7 times 30 is $210,000 per month. The rent. The only expenses that the owner would have on a monthly basis is the NWC, the water, which is estimated about $20,000. Is 7 units. So which is estimated about $20,000. And then there's a little green area that you have to get a gardener to come in at least once a month to cut. That's like $3,000.
Yeah, man, 3,000 the average price for them things as well.
Exactly, or it could even be less, right? So your overheads on a monthly basis is about $23,000, right? But your income, your revenue is 210. So you do the maths and you multiply it by 12 and you get your return on your investment for the year. And the return on the investment, as I said, is 9.75. So if you're looking to invest, these are some of the ways that you can invest in real estate, right? Outside of that, a lot of persons want to buy apartments to rent them back out, which is a big thing. I get a lot of clients who wants to do that. Buy new apartments, buy old apartments, whatever, to rent it back. But some of the times persons have unrealistic goals where it comes in terms of getting a certain amount of money for rent.
Because they don't do the research.
Exactly. Right? It's all fine. All right. For example, if you want to buy a very expensive property in a very high-end neighborhood, just because you say you are going to get this amount of money for rent on a monthly basis, it is very possible and it is very doable. However, how many persons are in that income bracket to afford that kind of rent?
Exactly. They're not looking at the average price of rent in the area. They're just looking at, me pay 10 million for this, more 100 grand every month.
That is something that you need to consider. So when you're looking to invest and you want to go into rental, you have to figure out what your audience is going to be, your target clientele is going to be. So if you're on the higher end of the spectrum, there are less persons that earn that amount of money. So you may sit on that property for a little bit before it gets rented. You may sit on it for a year, a couple months, or a year, maybe even longer.
Yeah.
Right? And then you will start seeing that your investment dwindling down away from you because you're not able to get any rent for a year and you're paying out the mortgage on this property. Versus buying something in a high dense community where people are always wanting to rent. For example, the place that I just told you about in Kingston 6, you're not going to have hands to rent that property. You know what I mean? It's an easy rental. You not lose a month of rent. So even if somebody give you a notice, say them coming out in 30 days, before that person come out, you have somebody.
23 million, that cheap one, seven room. Jesus, man.
It's no longer available though. Well, I have an offer accepted on it. They have the contractual stage yet, but it's getting there.
It's getting there.
Attorneys today, it's almost there. So you just have to decide in terms of there's a lot of money you can make from real estate. If you're buying somewhere and you want to sell it later on down the line,
you can do that.
Yeah, you make some money off of it.
So I'm 27 now, and I see a property for 10 million. It's in a gated community, and 10 million. That's what I see it for. And it's not brand new. It's not turnkey. It just need a little investment. You need some little money to go into it to fix it back up to where it stands. So let's say we need $1 million to bring it up to a level where it is presentable. However, I am strapped for cash. I cannot find that entire 10 million. And if I find that 10 million, I won't have any money to fix up the place. Is it a case where I can partner with somebody?
You can always partner. As in partner with like a friend or a business partner, or partner with a financial institution?
A business partner.
Yeah, you can.
So we can partner with we can do, because the way I think NHT or how them always advertise is that it's spouse. But I'm not sure if it can be anybody that qualifies and you both pool your money together and go after a venture.
I'm not 100% sure if you can pool together with a business partner per se, but I know that if it's family, you can pool together.
If it's family, you can pull together. But if it's another financial institution separate from NHT, they will allow you to maybe.
I know that they would. When you're purchasing together, right? You can purchase together in two ways. You have a joint tenancy, or you have a tenancy in common, right? Joint tenancy, everything is the same. So it's just like everybody owns the same thing. You start the same time. Everything is the same. If one person supposed to, knock on wood, if one person supposed to die, the other person owns the entire thing. So that's joint tenancy. Tenancy in common now, you guys both have a share, right? So you both have an equal share then. It just depends. It doesn't have to be equal. It can be, you can have a bigger share than the other person or whatever it may be. But in a situation where one person may die, you cannot sell that person's share if it's already willed.
Okay.
In joint funds, that person would have to give up their share before they die. They cannot will it to anybody.
Okay, so even if
it's seen like one person bought it.
okay,
Although the law looks on it as if one person bought it.
One person bought it. All right, so you find your partner, your business partner, and you're trying to acquire the land. So it will be the same thing as having your deposit ready,
and the same procedure.
Having all your money to pay all the lawyer fees, the stamp duty, the surveyor's report, the valuation, lawyer fees. Have your money for that. And you would still have to get pre-approved, right? Even if it's both of you, still have to get pre-approved.
Both of you would have to get pre-approved this time.
Okay. To show a line of credit, basically.
Exactly.
All right. And then now that us either try to find a realtor. Well, I'll go find a realtor. And then they get the process started and our lawyers do everything on the background and we just sit and wait.
But make sure you always check in because sometimes things can get bypassed by, so you should always check in.
Would you advise the use of a contractor to have somebody to because if you don't have a technical eye to see, you look at something and say, oh, this roof look all right and you just need paint. But if a contractor come and say, oh, this look like you need a whole roof.
Yeah. It depends on what you're buying. So if you're buying something that is aged, like even the place up by Kingston 7 that I told you about, investment property. You're buying something like that is older. You may want to carry a contractor up there or somebody who knows about construction. As a structural engineer, whoever it may be, right? To come up there and just have a look at it and say, I think you're going into this and that and it's going to cost X amount. Now that gives you some leverage in negotiation with the price. Right? So you take this back to your realtor and say, you know what? Based off of what the contractor is saying, I'm going to have to spend this out of pocket. So you can take it back to the owner and ask the owner if they are willing to fix it, one, or if they want to come down on the price a bit. You know what I mean? So those are some of the options that you can use to negotiate when you're buying property.
So would you put in an offer before all of that, or how do you even secure an interest in the property?
Well, you secure that interest in the property once you send in an offer. When you send in the offer, you actually have terms and conditions on there. So like if you're doing a mortgage, it will be a part of it will be subject to mortgage. Some of the conditions could be that the owner fix the roof or, whatever. But to secure your interest in a property, you would have to send in the offer to purchase.
So even after sending in the offer to purchase, you can still negotiate?
No, well, you can. You would pretty much be sending in a new offer to purchase.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because what happens there? What I would recommend, if you go and look on the property the first time, right, and you like it and you want to put in an offer on it, right, and you're seeing some stuff that you're not too sure about, carry a contractor there on a second visit with you, right? And from that contractor's advice, you then send in the offer, right? Because remember, the offer doesn't have to be accepted. It can either be rejected or it can be countered by the owner.
Okay.
So you can counter it and say, you know what? All right, we may not fix the roof, but we'll come down on the price $500,000 or something like that. You know what I mean? So those are some other scenarios that can happen.
All right. So this process for a first-time person in this real estate field, this process definitely is something that I think somebody should get assistance on. They shouldn't try to cheat out a real estate agent and say, oh, we don't need them, and they shouldn't try to cheat out a contractor or a lawyer. Like there's a lot of potholes that you can drop into and it can mess you up financially.
And remember, purchasers, you don't pay the realtor. You don't pay the realtor. So take advantage of it.
even if you go to a realtor and say, listen, like I need a property that can cash flow me $10,000 a month. So rent it for maybe 60,000, 50,000 pay back the mortgage, and then 10,000 my cash flow. So I come to you and tell you that, and then you basically will be out there looking for something that fits my criteria.
Yeah. So what you guys do for purchasers now, you write down your criteria. You know what you want. So you know that you want, if you're buying, all right, so if you're buying to live in, you're gonna say you want your 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, that's this, that, whatever. If you're buying for investment purposes now, you're gonna say, all right, I want something that can give me this amount of cash flow on a monthly basis, right? My budget to spend based off of my pre-qualification, or if you're using cash, is $20 million. From this $20 million, I need to make this amount of money on a monthly basis. So as a realtor now, we'll go about and look for things in a 20 million bracket, right? And then do the math. Sometimes the math don't work out to give you that cash flow.
Yeah.
So you may go up a little bit with the budget or something. But yeah, that is, you can come to us and tell us this is how you want to acquire these.
All right. So I guess we touch all bases then, basically. Like I think that's basically it. So as a refresher, let's run it through a quick process. What do I need to do?
As you say, the first thing we need to do is save up a little.
Save up. Yeah, man. Save up money, man.
Save up a little thing, because you're going to need to close a sale. You're going to need about 10 to 15%. It just depends. Because you're going to have to pay up that deposit plus all of the other fees that we ran through before. But when it comes to NHD, you have to make sure that you are a contributor for NHD, and you can't contribute this month and say you're ready to buy somewhere next week.
I think them say 1 year consistently.
You have to be on time with your payments also.
Yeah.
Right? So once all of that is done and you qualify, you can get up to 6.5%. I mean 6.5 million, sorry. And if you have a partner, your partner in the same shoes as you can get a 6.5 too. So together you get jointly what's that? 13
million.
You get jointly 13. However, if you're buying land, it's different. They only give you 2.5 for land. And I guess jointly 5 million. I'm not 100% sure if you can use the NHT with business partners. I've never come across anything like that, so I don't want to speak definitively to that.
Yes.
But it's something that we can research and we can check out. You can actually send me, if you guys follow me on Instagram or start following me on Instagram, you can actually send me a DM and I will check it out for you guys and let you know. But yeah, that is the process. And the process is very similar to when you get in the mortgage from mortgage institution, whether a commercial bank or credit union, that you have to go to them and get pre-qualified. With them now, you don't necessarily have to be contributing to that financial institution. However, you have to present like pay slips, or you get your money. You're gonna have to give them your expenses on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
I think for them to calculate what your pre-qualification would be. So that is that. And once you get the pre-qualification, you come out and you see me and you say, hey, Mark, I want this. I want that. I want that $100 million house, and I get you that $100 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And then the process is from there is that you send in the offer to purchase. Once it's accepted by the owner, the offer to purchase is now sent off to the attorney, where the attorney would do up the draft sale agreement. Sale agreement is sent to you guys, to the purchaser, for the purchaser's attorney to vet it and make sure there's adequate protection in there for the purchaser. Once that is done, it's sent back over to the vendor's attorney for them to convert it into the final sale agreement, which both parties will sign. And from there out, you have a signed sale agreement, you pay your deposit, and then the wheels start to spin. Transfer acted, you pay stuff at the stamp office, the registration fee, you get your valuation done, you get your surveyor's report done. Once everything is good on that side, the bank will send over the money to the attorney and disperse it. And in 2 shakes of a duck's tail,
they say, have your property, you're a homeowner.
Homeowner.
All right, Mark. Thank you for being a part of this discussion. And
no, thanks for having me, man.
no lie. This thing is something that you have to bring somebody with some knowledge to help you along the way.
You need help, and what I would always advise, just do it. Just start it. Just start it. Something simple, just start it. If you want to go through the whole process of being a real estate investor, the hardest thing is to start it. Once you start it, it's smooth sailing after that.
Just keep the ball rolling.
And the earlier you start it, the better.
The better for you.
You may be looking at yourself, yo, I'm gonna have no money right now for come up with or 15% of this and whatever. Start saving. The earlier you start, the better for you. Believe me when I tell you. If I knew what I knew now, when I was at UA, I have to.
So the biggest Jamaican saying.
You couldn't even talk to me right now. I just
You're the man.
But it's like that, right? And experience teaches wisdom. And from my experience, I can tell you that just start early. Get your foot wet. No matter how small it is, just get your foot wet.
Respect my boss. And we'll definitely have your contact information down below in the description. So if anybody want to reach out to you through Instagram, through email, or if you have any other information or contact info that you want to talk about, you can.
The Realtor Marc Chin and it's one word on Instagram. And you can always call me 876-371-3212. That's my real estate line. It's easy to just pick up the phone and call me, or even just send me a WhatsApp. Sometimes it's easier to WhatsApp me. My email is Marc, MARCAC @dctfrealty.com, right? And all them things that go down on the screen somewhere.
Down on it, yeah, man. Respect, manners. Love the opportunity. Thankful for it, and we see how the future goes. And we hope to bring some people into the Future Millionaires crew. Want people to be real estate investors, stock investors, everything. I bring everybody on the level there.
Definitely.
All right. So thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to reach out to Marc, information in the description. And I hope you guys like this video, and many more real estate videos will come in the future. So until next time, happy investing.